I'm Miss Trinity and I teach English 101 and 102. And I decided to utilize Lucid Spark for a couple of things. So as you can see, I have these graphic organizer toolkits. But one of the things that I noticed was actually really beneficial was the exit tickets. That's right there. I'm going to click on it and just give you kind of an overview of what I've done when it comes to the exit ticket. So a lot of times in my classes, since they're doing essay components and they're doing little pieces of the essay, I don't always get a survey of how well the students understand different things. So it's really hard sometimes for me to grasp whether or not a student actually fully grasped what I said or only grasped part of it. And I thought that this exit ticket was a really cool thing. So I'm in the editing portion of it, but pretty much this is just a question about parallel structure. This is how do we structure thesis statements. This is about where we access Calendly, because this is kind of just a recap at the 7-week mark for my English 101 students of what it is that the course expectations are, while also adding in the component of their thesis statement lab. And I thought that this would be beneficial because it showcases the different things that we would have done during that class session. So for example, I have a lot of students who ask me if they can get 30 minutes after class concludes to complete an in-class lab assignment. Of course, that's not allowed and that's not the procedure. It's due at the conclusion of class. So a lot of times I have to let students know you need to just submit what you have. So this I think will be a beneficial tool. This was just kind of an example I made to just see what it would look like. So I'm going to save changes, actually edit activity and hit preview, and take a look at what it would look like for my students. So for example, they would probably drag things here or drag things there. And then because I can make this anonymous, I'll know, because I can make this either anonymous or not, I wouldn't make this anonymous on my end because they would just be able to, ensure that they understand what I'm looking for in these things. And I can get a more data heavy look at if they understood what we covered in class, if they have an understanding of what their expectations are in class. In fact, I might remove this parallel structure question and add something about research. I just overall think that for me, Lucid Spark is going to be something that I use to not only enhance this aspect of my classroom experience, but it'll give me an idea of what I need to cover the next week when it comes to different activities, because I'm going to have a lot of fun being able to navigate this for different types of activities and being able to have my students come through and collaborate together. This will also encourage them to more than likely do their reading. A lot of times I'll ask a question that pertains specifically to the reading for that week and they'll be like, what's going on? And I'm like, well, this was the reading, so let's talk about things that happened within the reading, because I want them to understand not only the grammar expectations for writing, but also understand how to apply that to the things that they'll be noticing in their work. So that's pretty much what I plan on doing with Lucid Spark. I'm really excited to kind of delve into Lucid in that regard because I think it'll be extremely valuable as a tool and as a resource for my students to be able to gauge where they're at in a more realistic way, while also understanding where they're at just at the end of class and how they feel about their work. I'm even planning on making like a survey on here where they'll let me know how they feel at the end of class. And I think just having those be integrated in my class sessions and also offering the opportunity for them to share a comment of how they feel, it'll give me the feedback I need to continue to refine and elevate the course. So that's my plans for Lucid Spark. Thank you so much for tuning in, or I don't know how many people will be tuning into this, but I hope that this serves helpful to whoever ends up coming across this. All right. And as I normally end my videos when it comes to writing stuff, happy writing.